Nationwide outages cut CenturyLink and Verizon services. Hundreds of thousands of people nationwide stuck without internet or cell phone service with an unknown cause or recovery time. CenturyLink says a major path issue is what has caused outages across Montana and several other states today, and it could be 24 to 48 hours before service is restored. Now, this is affecting banks, police departments, and other businesses across the state. CenturyLink is posting updates on its Facebook page, but hundreds are reaching out wanting answers. And because of that outage, Verizon customers in the region are experiencing problems as well. Officials at Verizon say they route their services like calls and texts through fiber lines. In our region, those lines belong to CenturyLink, so Verizon's services in the area are being affected as well. And we did reach out to the Billings Police Department, who say they have not had any disturbances to their operations, mentioning that they recently switched telephone providers. We're just days away from 2019, and there's some laws changing in Montana that you'll want to know about. One will give a boost to minimum wage workers. Governor Bullock says Montanans earning minimum wage will see a 20-cent increase to $8.50 an hour. Now, Bullock previously said that Montana ranks among a handful of states where each year workers making minimum wage get to take home a little extra in their paychecks. In 2006, Bullock led a ballot initiative approved by Montana voters to raise the minimum wage and require that wage to be adjusted annually for inflation. The Montana Department of Labor estimates that 8,200 Montana workers will receive higher wages due to the 2019 minimum wage increase. And starting in January, Montanans can start to apply for a real ID. Over the last couple of years, the state has been working toward implementation and compliance with the Real ID Act. These are some of the commercials reminding us that it's coming. In 2017, the legislature and Governor Bullock directed to create an optional driver's license. It complies with the Federal Real ID Act of 2005. Real ID compliant driver's licenses have a gold star there in the upper right-hand corner. Montanans can apply for a Real ID beginning on January 7th. Montana Real ID compliant IDs are required to fly domestically and for access to federal facilities by October of 2020. Well, the 2019 Montana legislature gets underway at the state capitol on January 7th. That's less than 2 weeks away. This week, MTN chief political reporter Mike Dennison is giving us a preview of the session's big issues. Today, in the second of his three-part series, Mike zeroes in on the coming debate over state spending priorities and taxes.
Democratic Governor Steve Bullock has an ambitious agenda in his proposed budget, including state funding for preschool, freezing tuition and need-based aid for state colleges, and a $290 million infrastructure package. But it also includes almost $80 million a year in new taxes to help pay for it all. And Republicans who control the legislature say that's a non-starter.
We don't have an appetite to pass any taxes, and I feel very confident in saying that.
Bullock is proposing higher taxes or fees on tobacco, beer, wine, lodging, rental cars, and investment advisors, many of whom live out of state. Democratic Senate Minority Leader John Sesso of Butte says tax increases should be judged on whether they're fair and what they fund, including tax relief on other items.
I'm sure there's probably a wad of tax bills down there to reduce taxes. Well, you can't reduce taxes in areas where you think tax relief is warranted unless we're taking advantage of taxes in areas where it's common practice.
Sesso also says Bullock's infrastructure plans are a good investment for all corners of the state, rural and urban. For the past several sessions, Republicans at the legislature have rejected major infrastructure bills that borrow money. But on education funding and programs, at least one Republican leader says that's a priority for the GOP as well.
We'll make sure we put the students of Montana first, whether it's K through 12, and maybe help some pre-K students, along with kids after they graduate from high school, to make sure they have the right path forward to jobs in Montana.
Still, Hertz says Republicans want to accomplish those goals within existing tax revenue. Governor Bullock and fellow Democrats wonder if that's possible and want lawmakers to keep their options and their minds open.
I sure hope that neither Democrats or Republicans will start drawing the lines in the sand in December because their constituents expect government to be funded.
I'd say some of those lines are already drawn, but during 4 months of a legislative session, there's plenty of time to see some shifting sands as well. At the Capitol, Mike Dennison,
MTN News.
And tomorrow, Mike looks at another big issue before the 2019 legislature: drugs, both illegal and legal. Down in Wyoming, they were rocking and rolling down there on US 1620 highway there west of Cody. A rock slide this morning damaged a guardrail, blocked the westbound lane of the road. This afternoon, the Wyoming Department of Transportation used tiny explosives called boulder busters to break up the rocks to make them small enough for equipment to use. Cody Beers with the department says the rock fall was by natural causes. No one was injured in the slide or near it at the time. That area was cleared by 12:30 this afternoon. Well, during summer wildfire season, the smoke can turn skies brown for days on end here in Montana, but wintertime air quality isn't always perfect either. MTN's Katie Alexander has more on how high pressure equals low air quality.
In wintertime, inversions can be persistent, causing frigid temperatures and hazy skies. But what exactly is an inversion?
In the summertime, the temperature decreases with height. So when you climb up a mountain, it's colder at the top of the mountain than it is down at the bottom. But in the wintertime, for a variety of reasons, that flips, and it's colder at the surface sometimes, and it's warmer above. And that acts as a lid that doesn't allow much mixing.
Warm air rises, but cold air becomes trapped in valleys. High pressure also worsens inversions because a stable atmosphere means less wind and less air mixing.
You end up with pollution building up in the valleys. And sometimes, depending on the weather pattern, this can last for days. The mountains act as kind of a bowl to continue to trap that pollution. And also because there's so little sunlight, the ground tends to be colder in the winter here. And then with our snowfall, that also helps promote inversions.
And along with lower temperatures comes lower air quality. The haze you see during a particularly strong inversion is mainly due to wood-burning stoves. The pollutants measured in the winter are the same as what's measured in the summer during wildfire season.
We're measuring particulate matter 2.5. That's what's reported on our Today's Air website, and it does a good job of measuring both our summer wildfire impacts and our winter wood stove impacts that we see in our valleys.
And now you're a little more weather-wise.
Geyser has erupted, and if you're keeping score at home, that's another record. MTN's John Shear reports on what's making steamboats so active this year.
Steamboat's previous record was 29 major eruptions back in 1964.
They're fickle entities.
Before it sprang back to life on March 15th of this year, Steamboat had only erupted 4 times in the previous 15 years.
Most geysers are not predictable like Old Faithful and Grand and other geysers are.
The last record in 1964 occurred just a few years after the massive 1959 Quake Lake earthquake that claimed 36 lives. This year's activity at Steamboat follows the Maple Creek swarm of more than 1,000 small earthquakes in 2017.
Seismicity acts as a kind of conduit cleaner or vent cleaner or plumbing cleaner.
Hungerford says shaking the ground around geysers can also change the flow of underground water.
We are learning about the underground plumbing. We have a lot of work to do in understanding how all these geysers are connected.
That work is aided by one of the most dense arrays of seismic monitors at any thermal site in the world. That, combined with other monitors and even satellite imagery, is beginning to paint a picture of what's happening underground.
But right now we have a coarse idea of, in some areas of what is going on underneath.
Someday, scientists hope to have a complete map of Yellowstone's underground thermal systems.
We're going to get to that point. Really? We will eventually. It's going to take a lot of know-how and ingenuity, and we're working on it.
Hungerford won't predict how soon that may happen, but says scientists are hard at work on building that definitive geyser map. In Bozeman, I'm John Shearer for MTN News.
GeyserTimes.org, by the way, has a list of all of Steamboat Geyser's eruptions. Coming up on tonight's 5:30 News, it's something no one wants to hear, that a family member is in danger. As it turns out, it is often a scam that's making the rounds, which you need to look out for in case you get one of those calls. And later, we meet the Joker as we count down the top 10 sports stories of the year.
And coming up in weather, it was the soup of the day. We're talking fog. And what caused all that fog? Well, we'll have the answer coming up in a few more minutes.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Janelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 news on Q2, Montana's news leader.